Hi, how are you? Hope you're doing okay. And today we are going to talk about narcissism and narcissistic abuse. I know narcissism is something that has affected us in one way or another, but some people may say that it is. So today I'm going to talk about it because so many people have experienced it in one way or another. You may have a narcissistic parent, a narcissistic relative, a narcissistic boss, a narcissistic pastor. They come in all sizes, shapes, ages. Even nowadays, we have narcissistic kids. You don't believe? Ask those kindergarten teachers. They'll tell you how narcissistic kids have become. So this is something that is affecting everybody, and it's something that has affected you in one way or another. And this is not something that people are talking about, maybe because of fear of maybe the reparations that come with it. But here, these are some things that we talk about. Okay, so what is narcissism? Some people say that narcissism is a condition, it's a medical condition that's all about psyche. Psyche is the mind. Okay, people say that narcissism is something that is a condition that someone is born with it, and it's a condition that affects the mind, and it makes people to be cruel. But I'm here to debunk that notion that narcissism is something that you're born with and it's something that happens after. No, narcissism is a demon, and it's a demon that makes you behave the way you behave. And for you to be cured, you can never be cured of narcissism unless maybe you are exorcised. And once an exorcism is done on you, maybe they can hold a week or prayers to get the narcissism out of you, so that you can become like a normal human being. If you don't know how narcissism operates, narcissism is a spirit, and narcissism operates it operates in two spirits. One is the Jezebel spirit, and the other one is the Ahab spirit. The Jezebel spirit, as you all know, is the spirit of lying, manipulation. There's lying, there's manipulation, there's slander, there's control. So, and in most cases, when a person is lying against you or is manipulating, that basically they want to control you, and they are playing with your mind so that they can control you. And that can only happen if there's another person who is enabling that person to control you or to intimidate you or to lie on you. And that is called the Ahab spirit. So the Ahab spirit usually happens in they usually work this way. They usually work in like a good cop, bad cop situation. Like assuming you are caught today and you went in for questioning, they usually operate with good cop, bad cop, especially when they are doing interrogation. And the good cop is there to intimidate you, to make you like tell things the hard way, and then there is a good cop is there to make you give the information, but the right way, no, the soft way. And if either way fail, by all means you have to give up the information, whether you keep me or you take me. That's how it goes. So the Ahab spirit is the facilitator. Okay, let's take this case scenario. Like so many people are afraid to talk about there's so many there are so many narcissistic individuals in the organization. They could be bosses, they could be co-workers, they could be the cleaners, they could be narcissistic. But for them to be narcissistic and to be toxic in you or against you, there has to be someone who is tolerating their behavior for apparent reason. And they could be the bosses, or they could be even the organization, because every time something is happening in an organization, it's not that the organization doesn't know. No, the organization know, but they only choose to keep quiet. Because basically that's how the organization operates. And the organization, if they can't, like, okay, at the eyes of the organization, in the eyes of the organization, someone who's complaining that I'm getting harassment from here and this and this and this, you are the enemy. Because most of the organizations hire like bosses and managers as gatekeepers. They are gatekeepers for enable the smooth running of the organization. Without them, the organization may crumble. So wherever there's any form of narcissism, there's an enabler, and wherever there's any form of the perpetrator of the narcissism is usually covered by the enabler, which represent the Ahab spirit. And when it comes to the Jezebel and the Ahab spirit, it's just a spirit, and it can manifest either the male or the female. So even a man can have a Jezebel spirit if they are the narcissist and they are the perpetrator of the toxic the things that are being done to him. So, and narcissism is causing so much pain, especially in family. Assuming so many people nowadays have to live with a narcissistic partner just because maybe they are not financially stable and they depend on the perpetrator of finance. So they have to take all that BS in the bid to maybe to continue receiving that financial support, which in most cases we're not supposed to do that, because God gave you a thing. You are of sound mind and of sound you are of sound mind and you are of sound physical condition. So why can't you become the adult that you're supposed to be and make money for themselves? Once you start doing that, you have power over the narcissistic spirit, which is the Jezebel spirit. So now narcissism happen where maybe one partner is controlling, one partner uses is always gaslighting you, like even if they have done something that warrants them to be accountable, they usually turn it up against you, and then you become the bad person. And in most cases you may become maybe psychologically that in some cases people end up depressed and they have antidepressants all the time. So as an individual, if you are going through narcissism or are suffering narcissistic abuse, you need to look at the pointers so that you can start becoming responsible and maybe looking for ways to get out of that. Because if it gets out of hand, at the end of the day, we only have one life. You have seen people who have even committed suicide live on camera because they are the narcissistic individual. Without knowing that, we don't deal with, we don't wrestle with blood and flesh. We wrestle with evil principalities and rulers in high places. So most of the time, this is a spirit, it's a demonic spirit that the only way you can do is to get away from the toxic person. That's the only way so that you can start experiencing the change. If you're experiencing narcissism at work, it's a different animal altogether, because you can either decide to quit the work and look for another job, or maybe you can request for departmental change. Either way, you can look for something that suits you, because if you continue in that situation, regardless of how much money you are making, no amount of money can cover for the if your soul is dying day, and no amount of pain is if a job, if you find yourself googling how to quit a job, or if you find yourself googling how to handle toxic bosses or narcissistic bosses, you are in a toxic work environment, and it's about time you decided to quit, because you only live once. Life is not a rehearsal, and regardless of the perks that you are getting, you either have to leave immediately, or if you can't leave immediately, then you have to start making plans of quitting the job and looking for another job, because at the end of the day, it's your health that is at risk. Okay, supposing this thing it can send you to an early grave, because you can end up killing yourself. So what I would advise you to do, if you are feeling that this is something that is affecting you, please look for help. And some people think that visiting the psychiatrist is the only way. No, it is not the only way. It is not the only way. The only help you can get that will guarantee you lifelong success is looking for divine intervention. Prayers and fasting will do wonders. But again, if I told you that, you'll say that no. Of course, don't expect you to believe me or something, because not everything. Life is not one size fits all. Everybody has their life to live, and everybody has their way of navigating their life. So at the end of the day, you are the captain of your ship. So just choose how you want to lead your life. Thank you and enjoy your day. If you feel that our videos are good to you, then please like, share and subscribe. It feels good to be out here.